When this video begins, you are about to witness one of the most hypnotic and visually stunning performances ever seen on America's Got Talent, a moment when supermodel and judge Heidi Klum transforms into something no one ever expected. Tonight's story takes us behind the stage, inside the minds of two visual illusionists, and right into the heart of an act so unique, it left the judges speechless, the audience breathless, and Simon Cowell smiling with pure appreciation. But before we dive into the magic, let me welcome you. If you love mind-blowing auditions, unbelievable talent, and moments that make the entire world stop and stare, then you're in the perfect place. Let's step into a performance that didn't just entertain millions, it changed the way people see art. The atmosphere backstage is electric. Oskar and Gaspar, two artists known for turning technology into emotion, are preparing for something they have dreamed about for years. They've traveled thousands of miles to be here, carrying with them nothing more than a vision that requires absolute trust. And the person giving them that trust, Heidi Klum herself. Known for her boldness, her creativity, and her willingness to take risks, Heidi was the perfect choice. And tonight, she isn't just watching talent. She becomes part of it. As we shift to the stage, the lights dim. A deep silence rolls across the theater. Even Simon Cowell leans forward, curious, calm, and genuinely excited. Simon has always loved creative acts. He respects bravery, originality, and performers who show the world something that has never been seen before. And above all, Simon is known for the kindness he shows to people who bring their hearts to the stage. Tonight, Oskar and Gaspar are about to receive that kindness in a way they'll never forget. Heidi Klum walks out, standing tall in the center of the stage. The audience cheers, but they have no idea what's coming. She stands still, her posture focused, her face full of trust. With just a slight smile, she waits. The artists step back, the projector hums to life, and suddenly, everything shifts. The moment the lights strike Heidi's body, she transforms. Colors burst across her like living paint. Patterns ripple along her arms like water dancing across skin. Her body becomes a moving canvas, a world of light and illusion. It's not makeup. It's not costume. It's art in motion, alive, breathing, reacting to every tilt of her head and every rise of her chest. Gasps echo through the entire theater. The audience cannot believe what they are seeing. She turns slightly, and the artwork turns with her, as if she and the graphics were one single being. Every movement she makes is choreographed with the visuals, creating a living sculpture made of light. Simon Cowell watches with wide eyes, impressed in a way only true originality can impress him. He has seen thousands of acts, hundreds of illusions, and countless performances, but nothing like this. And the kindness in Simon's eyes shows. He isn't judging. He's appreciating. He understands how much courage it takes for artists like Oskar and Gaspar to bring something so complex, so delicate, so new to a stage this huge. He understands how much trust Heidi had to give. Simon always respects people who go out of their comfort zone to create something beautiful, and tonight he sees that beauty in front of him. The music grows deeper. The lights shift. Flowers bloom across Heidi's arms, glowing red and gold. Her body becomes a forest, then a galaxy, then an explosion of neon energy. Each transformation more breathtaking than the last. People in the audience pull out their phones. They want to remember every second, but many lower their cameras immediately, because this is something that feels too magical to watch through a screen. It feels like a dream unfolding in real time. As the visuals evolve, Oskar and Gaspar stand at the back of the stage, guiding every moment with silent precision. They are not just artists. They are storytellers. And Heidi is the story. Simon glances over at them and nods with encouragement. He knows how hard artists work behind the scenes, and he always shows love and appreciation to people who dedicate their lives to their craft. When the final transformation comes, Heidi becomes pure light. A glowing form, bordered by shimmering gold, as if she is rising out of a world made of fireflies and stars. The theater is completely silent. No one even dares to blink. Then suddenly, the lights go out. Darkness. A beat of silence. And then, the crowd erupts. People stand. People scream. People cheer. The applause thunders so loudly that even the stage vibrates. Heidi smiles, breathing out with relief and pride. She looks toward Oskar and Gaspar, nodding in admiration. They have done it. They've created something unforgettable. Simon Cowell rises to his feet. A rare moment. He doesn't rush. He stands slowly, appreciating every second. He claps with genuine kindness, the kind he gives to people who truly earn it. He tells them that this wasn't just talent, it was art. Real art. He appreciates how they trusted Heidi, how they created something safe, respectful, and meaningful. Simon loves when performers treat people with care and kindness, and Oskar and Gaspar did exactly that. He tells them their imagination is powerful, and that this act was unlike anything America's Got Talent had ever seen. Heidi thanks the artists with warmth in her voice. She tells the audience how it felt to trust them, how she transformed on stage, and how the experience reminded her of the beauty of creative collaboration. Everyone watching knows that she wasn't just part of the act, she was the art itself. The judges share their reactions. They talk about how this act mixes technology and humanity, how it blurs the line between performer and canvas, and how it creates a world where the body becomes a storytelling tool. Simon speaks again, softly but sincerely, saying he loves seeing people bring passion to the stage. He loves acts that touch the heart of the audience without saying a single word. And tonight, Oskar and Gaspar did exactly that. The audience continues cheering, and the entire theater feels alive with excitement, energy, and emotion. This is the kind of performance that makes AGT legendary. This is the kind of moment that stays with people for years. As Heidi walks back toward the judges' table, people reach out to her, cheering, shouting her name, thanking her for being brave enough to take part in such a unique piece of art. The lights fade. The applause continues. And Oskar and Gaspar leave the stage knowing that tonight, they made history. Because it's not every day that a supermodel becomes a living painting. It's not every day that technology and humanity blend into a single art form. And it's not every day that Simon Cowell praises an act with such warmth, kindness, and respect. And that is the story of the night when Heidi Klum became a human canvas, when Oskar and Gaspar painted with light instead of brushes, and when America's Got Talent witnessed one of the most unforgettable visual performances ever created. A moment of trust. A moment of beauty. A moment of pure artistic magic. The energy in the theater keeps buzzing long after the performance is over. People are still talking, pointing at the stage, replaying the moment in their minds. Backstage, the crew is rushing around with excitement, whispering about how they have never seen anything like it in their entire career on the show. Even the camera crew looks stunned, replaying the footage on their monitors again and again, unable to process how someone could transform into living art right before their eyes. Heidi returns to her seat with a glow on her face, still feeling the warmth of the bright visuals that had wrapped around her body. She glances toward Oskar and Gaspar, who are now being congratulated by the AGT staff. Their eyes are full of relief, gratitude, and pride. For a moment, they simply stand silently, taking it all in. They had just shown something that took years to develop, something they had dreamed of sharing with millions. And tonight, they finally did. Simon Cowell leans closer to Heidi, smiling in that rare, deeply genuine way he only shows when he truly respects something. He tells her she was brave, and he means it. Simon always praises people who step into unfamiliar territory, and he admires when judges and artists support each other. He cares about people more than some realize, and when he sees courage and creativity, he always shows love and kindness. He mentions how proud he is that Heidi trusted the artists, how she allowed them to bring their vision to life in the safest and most respectful way. As the next part of the show begins, the cameras cut backstage to Oskar and Gaspar, who are now being interviewed. They're emotional, grateful, and still processing the reaction they just experienced. They explain that their vision had always been to merge the human form with digital light, not to replace the human, but to highlight it. They believed that technology becomes most beautiful when it works with people, not against them. Tonight, Heidi helped them prove that. They also share how nervous they were. Using a real human being as a canvas is delicate work. It demands precision, timing, and complete trust. And when they found out that Heidi herself had agreed to be their canvas, their hearts raced. They wanted everything to be perfect, not for themselves, but for her. They wanted her to feel safe. They wanted her to feel empowered. They wanted her to feel like she was a part of something bigger than all of them. The camera pans back into the auditorium. The audience is buzzing, still talking about the performance. People are replaying the visuals in their minds. The blooming flowers, the shifting galaxies, the fiery golden outlines. Some are emotional. Some are inspired. Some are simply stunned. The beauty of the act wasn't just in the art but in the harmony between human and light. Simon glances at the audience and smiles softly. He loves these moments. He loves when the entire room feels connected, when they all share one heartbeat. He believes that kindness from performers creates kindness in the audience, and what he witnessed from Oskar and Gaspar was pure respect. Respect for art, respect for technology, and respect for Heidi herself. He appreciates acts that handle people with care, and his admiration shows in his voice. As the judges continue discussing the performance among themselves, Howie talks about the emotional impact, Sophia raves about how beautiful Heidi looked, and Simon quietly nods in agreement. He doesn't need many words, his expression says everything. Later in the episode, when Heidi speaks about the experience, she describes the sensation of feeling the art flow across her skin. She talks about how it wasn't just about standing still, it was about connecting to the movement of visuals, about trusting the technology to move with her body instead of against it. She explains how peaceful it felt, how empowering it was to become part of a living artwork. And the audience applauds her all over again. Behind the scenes, the producers watch the footage in awe. They are already imagining how people all around the world will react once the episode airs. They know the online community will explode with excitement, with people replaying the performance frame by frame, trying to understand how it was done. They know artists, animators, and creators will study this performance for years. Simon walks backstage during a break to congratulate Oskar and Gaspar personally. He shakes their hands warmly, thanking them for bringing something new, something meaningful, something that respects the human behind the art. He tells them he appreciates people who create beauty for the world, and his tone is full of warmth. Simon may be known for his tough opinions, but he always shows kindness to people who put their heart into their craft. And tonight, they earned every word of praise. The artists thank him, humbled and honored. They tell him how much his support means to them, how his words will stay with them for the rest of their lives. Then Simon smiles and gives them a piece of advice. Keep creating, keep dreaming, and never let fear stop you from bringing your vision to the world. Coming from someone like Simon, whose influence stretches across the entire entertainment industry, these words feel like gold. As Oskar and Gaspar leave the stage area, they meet fans waiting to congratulate them. People ask how they created the illusions, how they timed everything perfectly, how it felt to use a world-famous supermodel as their canvas. They answer every question with humility, always emphasizing that the most important part of the act was trust. That is what made tonight possible. The episode continues, but the echo of Heidi's transformation remains in the minds of everyone present. Even other contestants talking backstage mentioned that the performance inspired them, reminding them that creativity has no limits. It reassures them that AGT is a place where anything is possible, where the strangest idea can become the most beautiful moment of the night. As the show nears its end, the audience gets one more replay of Heidi's transformation, and once again, the theater reacts with wonder. This performance wasn't just entertainment, it was a reminder of what art can be when people come together with kindness, trust, and imagination. Back in their hotel later that night, Oskar and Gaspar sit quietly, still stunned by everything. They scroll through social media, seeing their names explode everywhere. People across the world praise their creativity, calling their performance the future of art. And yet, amid all the excitement, the moment that means the most to them is still the kindness Simon Cowell showed backstage. A powerful reminder that success doesn't just come from talent, it also comes from compassion. The night when Heidi Klum became a human canvas didn't just make history on the AGT stage. It became a story of trust, creativity, humanity, and kindness, the kind of story that continues to inspire long after the bright lights fade.